In this week's video, I'll be talking about a feature that the Sony A7CR, the Sony A7RV, the camera that I'm filming with, basically the newer higher resolution Sony cameras, the feature that they have that have given me great flexibility in my photography, the ability to change your raw file sizes when shooting. There are essentially three choices you have in terms of size: uncompressed or large size at the full 61 megapixels, medium or M size at 26 megapixels, and S or small size at 15 megapixels. At first glance, it's such a simple thing, but it's such a game changer for me, and it's just a great quality of life feature that I now value a lot in my camera. And here's why. With the Sony A7R IV and the Sony A1, before I got updated, you have to shoot all your photos with the full 61 megapixel and 50 megapixel sensor, which is great and all, don't get me wrong. There are times when I don't really want to take a whole 61 megapixel picture. I don't want to have that as my only option at least, especially if I'm out for a walk around the block doing street photography in LA. That would end with my computer running out of space real fast, which would then require me to upgrade my storage on my MacBook, which because of the way MacBooks work, I would basically need to change computers and upgrade to the 4 terabyte version, or just get a bunch of external SSDs. In short, I'd basically be fighting for my life for space to store my photos. Coming from that same discussion of high resolution pictures, the ability to crop your images because of the high megapixel count is one of the factors that draw people towards high resolution cameras. And that crop ability is intertwined with the flexibility I like that comes with being able to change your raw file sizes. When traveling around and roaming off the beaten path, or even just roaming around the city honestly, for the way that I like to go about and photograph, I never really know where I'm going to end up, as plans can change real quick with just a glance at the sky or situation. So if I really need to photograph something and I need that in reach, I can just switch to my large size and 61 megapixel uncompressed raw file size and either crop in with the APS-C method or wait until after post and then crop then. This is especially helpful when going to a location I've never been to. Sure, I can do all the research in the world and see potential photos I can get on Google Maps, which I still do, by the way, but I never really know what works until I'm there in person at the location. It's basically like I have an in-camera teleconverter. Even with the crop, the end result will still end up being a pretty high resolution photograph. This allows me to travel and photograph as simple and as lightweight as possible. I really don't want to be carrying a bunch of gear on me. I want to be able to focus as much as I can on getting the photos I want and enjoy my time in the location. And this feature has helped me do exactly that. Pair that with the advancements that Sony has put into making their gear as lightweight as possible while maintaining their excellent image quality, I'm able to do just that. If I'm carrying around my Sony A7R V with my 24-70 GM2, that lens is basically a 24-105 range now, since I can go into APS-C crop mode with a large uncompressed 61 megapixel raw file size and still get a high quality image. So if I ever feel that 70 millimeters on the 24-70 isn't enough, I have that option. And if I need to squeeze a bit more and the 105 isn't enough, then I can just crop it in post until it fits what I want. Deciding when to use medium-sized raw files and the uncompressed large-sized raw files is quite simple for me actually. I take my everyday street-type photos with the medium-sized raw files. Because I go out so often for street photography and how easy it is to do, being near a city whether I'm home or traveling, it'd be terrible for my computer storage if I were to shoot all the time with 61 megapixels. I don't think I really need a 61 megapixel picture of a random guy smoking on the street. 26 megapixels is perfectly fine for me for that. With bigger trips into areas I know I probably won't be going for a while and are a bit hard to reach, for example, this landscape photo of Mount Fuji taken in Uchiura near Numazu, yeah, those type of photos are taken with the large, uncompressed size raw files, which gives me the ultimate flexibility and image quality if I ever want to crop or anything like that after. I know some of you may be questioning when I use the small size raw files. It's really easy to answer that, I just don't use them at all. 26 megapixels is a pretty standard file size nowadays, so I really have no problems with it whatsoever. I love the options of having the choice to choose the size of my raw files. It has given me the ultimate ability to get all the pros of a high resolution camera, such as the flexibility to crop way in while still obtaining a high resolution image, without having to deal with all the cons like dealing with how to store that many high megapixel images. There are of course other pros and cons of dealing with high megapixel images and cameras, but this is one of the benefits that I greatly value in having a camera like the A7R V and the A7CR. Not having to worry about storage space is such a huge thing for me, especially when I may not have access to all my external SSDs when traveling around for long periods of time. So this feature has really helped my workflow for the better. Well, that's all for this video. Please let me know, am I the only one who actually feels this way about this feature? Feel free to leave your comments down in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Later.